Welcome. My name's Brad Gilley, and this video is designed to give you a quick start for your indoor air quality and energy efficiency service. You'll learn some great tips and techniques that will help you with all aspects of explaining air duct cleaning and insulation installation to your customer. Once you gain some hands-on experience with the equipment, we invite you to come to our certified training center. Here you can learn ways to expand your cleaning skills as well as effective ways to grow your business. When you arrive at your customer's home, remember that first impressions go a long way. For example, we recommend wearing disposable shoe covers while working. Take time to explain what you'll be doing and answer any questions that your customers may have. Next, perform a site inspection to develop a cleaning game plan. This includes finding the locations of all the thermostats, registers, and air handlers, and also determine the general layout of the ductwork. All central air conditioning and heating systems have three main components. The return air ducts draw room air back into the system for conditioning. That conditioning is performed by the air handler. Supply air ducts provide the filtered and conditioned air back into the room space. Filtration may occur at the return air duct's opening or at the air handler itself. Understanding the layout of the ductwork is important. You'll start cleaning the supply side of the air ducts, beginning with the ducts farthest from the air handler, then clean the other supply air ducts, working progressively back toward the air handler. This ensures the areas you've already cleaned will not be recontaminated. Explain that during the cleaning process, the central air system will be turned off. Now, prior to cleaning the air ducts, we want to prepare the area you're working in. You want to make sure you have all furniture and/or home accessories away from the area you'll be working in. A drop cloth is a great idea to use to make sure you're catching any particulate, and it's a great way to show the customers you're concerned about taking care of their home.
A battery-powered screwdriver is generally going to be your best tool for removing a register. If you use a hand-powered one, it'll take more time. You may find a register that's painted, which this one is, or it may be caulked, or it may freely come off. If it's painted on or caulked, you're going to use your knife and cut from the corners in. If you go all the way off the edge, you've got a good chance of marking the entire wall. Once you get it off, you'll topically clean the register and the boot opening if there are heavy contaminants. You'll want to mark it. That way when you go to clean it outside, you'll know exactly where it goes back.
If the registers are not heavily soiled, use the Rotobrush nozzle adapter and dust brush to vacuum. You may also use a HEPA-filtered shop vac. Also, vacuum out the boot area, cleaning the air duct as far as you can prior to cleaning with the Rotobrush. If you determine the register covers are going to need more aggressive cleaning, go through the house and remove those and take them outside to clean. Let's start cleaning the air ducts. First, turn on the vacuum switch. Make sure you don't turn on the brush before you actually insert it into the air duct. Otherwise, contaminants could release back into the area. Once you have the vacuum on and the brush is inserted into the air duct, turn on the brush rotation and start cleaning. Insert the hose into the air duct at a rate of about 1/2 to 1 foot per second. Now, if you're cleaning rectangle ductwork, you need to use a sweeping method to assure you're cleaning all sides of the duct. You'll sweep the air duct by first inserting the brush and the hose all the way down the duct line. Then reverse the brush rotation to cause the brush to travel toward the other side of the duct. Pull the brush back about 6 inches and then reverse direction again. Repeat as needed to clean the length of the duct. Prior to removing the brush from any air duct, make sure you turn off the brush rotation and move on to the other rooms. Clean the remaining supply air ducts using the same process. Once you've cleaned all the supply air ducts, now you can move on to cleaning the return air ducts.
Okay, we're starting on the return side of the system now. Right here we have a return grill which is going to have a filtration system either in the ceilings, walls, or at the unit. Typically you're going to have less return than you will supplies in a home.
As with supply air ducts, first vacuum the return register as well as the boot area. Insert the brush with the vacuum on and engage the brush rotation. Again, insert the hose at a rate of about 1/2 to 1 foot per second. While removing the hose, make sure that you wrap it around the machine. This keeps the work area safe and orderly. This also prevents the hose and cable from binding, which can cause the cable to weaken or break.
Throughout different parts of the country, you're going to run into duct called wall stacks. This is actually ducting that's inside of the wall of the home and sheetrocked in. What it does is go in, it will drop down and go off either direction or straight back towards you. It's typically found in bathrooms most common, but it can be found anywhere. What you want to do is use your 1.5-inch hose with 8-inch brush, but without a cable extension, it could make it very difficult. This gives you the flexibility to make this corner without any difficulties at all. Again, it will allow you to go any direction you need to go, and this is a great time to be able to use the directional control to go any direction. Also, many contractors just go ahead and use the cable extension anytime and on all of their hoses throughout the cleaning process.
In the event your brush or hose ever gets hung up in the air duct, here are 3 ways to help you retrieve it.
The first method to use, and the one that takes care of 99% of it, is to just simply push the hose in about 6 to 12 inches and give it a quick firm pull backwards, and that allows the brush to center in the air duct, and come backwards over whatever is obstructing it. The next thing is, you can actually twist the hose clockwise or counterclockwise. Basically twist the hose, and that allows the hose to act like a corkscrew, and in any obstruction, it will actually walk over. The other option you have is to change brush direction via the brush control.
Next, we're moving on to the cleaning of the air handler. The air handler can be located in attics, crawl spaces, or even basements in different parts of the country. What the air handler does is it actually draws air from the conditioned space, the dirty room air, brings it to the handler itself and heats it, cools it, conditions it, dehumidifies it, humidifies it, and brings it back into the rooms throughout the home. Now, because of that, all of the contaminants can load up in this air handling unit, and that's why it's important to make sure you topically clean the air handler unit as well. Dependent upon what your state licensing requirements are will really dictate how much work you can do with the air handler. The coils itself is a breeding ground for microbial contaminants, and it also decreases the efficiency of the unit because of dander, dust, pollen, and mold that could accumulate on the coil to decrease efficiency. Getting in here and deep source cleaning the system really starts with taking apart the air handler, and to do this, what you want to do is start by taking off the nuts. We have a 5/32 nut driver and have taken off the face plates. Go in using shop vac attachments rather than with the Rotobrush itself, and/or using a separate shop vac that you can bring into the area and topically clean the components. Now, if you see a lot of accumulation throughout the system, you can deep source remove the contaminants within the system. While at the air handler, this is a great opportunity for you to inspect the ductwork throughout the system and look for any cracks, tears, or ducts that are pulled away from the registers. Any mild repairs and minor repairs can be accomplished with aluminum foil tape. Aluminum foil tape is easy to use and apply. If this improves the efficiency of the air handling unit, this would be a service that most homeowners would be happy to pay for.
Okay, we're on to fogging. Typically what we use for fogging is EnviroCon. This is an antimicrobial fungistat deodorstat that's ready to use. You don't add water and there is no mixing. All you do is simply pour this into the fogger. Typically, you want to put about 1/3 to 1/2 gallon in. If you put the whole gallon in, you'll just have to carry around the weight because each gallon is enough for about 10 to 12 jobs. What you're going to do is go ahead and tighten down the lid, and then you're ready to fog. Typically, the rule of thumb is 45 to 60 seconds per 1,000 square foot of room space is how long you'll fog through the return. What you need to do is turn on the fan on the air handling system. Not heating, not cooling, just the fan only, and that's controlled by the thermostat itself. What you're going to do is then go to each return and simply take the fogger. You have an on and off switch here and a valve here. All you're going to do is turn the valve counterclockwise until you see a light mist. Once you see a light mist, 45 to 60 seconds per 1,000 square foot of room space. If you have multiple returns, you'll have to divide that up between each return. Make sure you turn off the valve prior to turning off the motor to prevent spillage, and also keep your chemicals in a climate-controlled environment to prolong their life. The last thing we need to do is install the filter, close the door, and turn on the air handler.
Sometimes we're asked what other applications the Rotobrush can be used for. There are 2 applications that it shouldn't be used for, and first is chimney cleaning, due to the risk of potential cross-contamination from creosote. Secondly, kitchen exhaust cleaning, due to the grease that sets in the kitchen exhaust. You need high-pressured steam to clean that. Now, there is one service that you can use the Rotobrush for, and that's dryer vent cleaning. The Consumer Product Safety Commission states that over 15,000 fires annually, 20 deaths, and over $75 million a year in damages are contributed to dryer fires. Right now is a great time for you to sell this as a service to your customers.
The first thing you're going to want to do is make sure you have your HD vac or smallest hose if you're using your Rotobrush machine, your 4-inch brush, Y adapter, and your brush auger. You'll want to use the 4-inch brush because if it's too large, it could push debris forward and cause a blockage.
Energy efficiency services are in great demand today with consumers and are an astounding way for businesses to grow and expand. The foundation to energy efficiency in any home is proper insulation. The U.S. Department of Energy states that over 80% of homes built prior to 1980 are under-insulated.
Although there are many different types of insulation, with the RotoStorm you're able to use cellulose and fiberglass insulation. When using fiberglass insulation, make sure the product gate on the RotoStorm 2 is pulled out to the last hole. The RotoStorm 2 takes 2 technicians to operate the equipment properly. One technician's location will be in the attic, and the other technician will stay by the equipment, powering it on and off and inserting the insulation into the hopper. When operating the RotoStorm or any insulation blowing equipment, you'll want to think of safety first. Make sure you're wearing safety goggles, leather gloves, dust mask, headlamp. Follow all safety labels on the unit. Keep in mind, the hopper is the black portion of the RotoStorm 2. The RotoStorm 2 is powered by 2 separate power cords which need to be plugged into separate outlets on separate breakers. Make sure the push button with a 100-foot extension cord is plugged into the control panel. You'll want to connect the first 50-foot hose to the RotoStorm with the clamps provided. The second hose can be connected to the first using a coupler and 2 clamps. Make sure these are securely connected so you don't have insulation blowing out the connected area. Once everything is plugged up and a technician is in the attic, the ground technician will then turn the unit's main power on and blower power on, and you're ready to load the unit with insulation. Cut 1 brick directly in half and place 1/2 into the top of the unit and cut the bag to where the insulation will fall into the unit. Using your hand, assist the insulation downward. Do not let your hand pass the black hopper. If the red top is not in correct position or is off, the unit will not operate. While spraying the insulation into the attic, go side to side and work your way back until insulation is at the proper height. Once insulation in the attic is complete, then clear the unit of insulation into the attic for easier cleanup and travel. We're going to go over each of the hoses and brushes and where to use them. This is the 2.25 hose. It's the largest hose we have and has the most airflow, and it's also the most rigid to help navigate through ducting. You want to use this hose in every application you can. In many 6-inch ducts, you can even use this. We also have a cable extension that attaches to the end of all the hoses and all of the brushes to help you make tight corners and also when cleaning trunk lines. The 1.5-inch hose has about half of the airflow of the 2.25, and it's a lot more flexible. So where the 2.25 doesn't fit, you'll use the 1.5-inch. Next, we have the 1.25 dryer vent hose. The most airflow this hose can handle is a 6-inch duct. Most cases, this is used exclusively in dryer vents, but occasionally in wall stacks. Okay, let's talk brushes. First, we have the 8-inch brush. It's the most commonly used brush for all applications: sheet metal, flex duct, and duct board. Then we have your stiff bristle brushes, which have the blue and green bristle, and your soft brushes only have green bristles. The stiff bristle brush is used for aggressive cleaning applications and sheet metal ducting only. It's not to be used in flex duct, duct board, or duct liner. Your standard bristle brushes can be used in all of those applications, and typically what you're going to be doing is looking for a 2 to 4 inch increase in size of the horizontal height of the duct. The Rotobrush has been designed for low maintenance. A couple of items you want to look at is the torque adjustment of the machine and the filtration. We're going to talk about the torque adjustment first. What torque is the driving power of the brush. Basically, you turn it on, the brush spins. As you're going through ductwork and your brush tends to hesitate or stop, Your torque may be adjusted improperly. It's preset before it leaves the factory, but during shipping, items can shift, and so it may need to be adjusted, but it's a really easy process to do this. The first thing is you're going to have your small brush, which is the 8-inch brush, your large hose, which is the 2.25 hose, and that actually comes pre-installed on your machine upon delivery. All you do is simply plug in your machine to a wall outlet, and you have your directional control right here, 1, and 2, you're just going to hit position 1. As the brush starts rotating, all we're going to do is stop the brush, and the hose should raise up a little bit on the left front corner, and that's what you're looking for, just a little bit of rise. Now, if the torque was too low and the hose didn't rise at all, you have the T-handle that comes with your machine. It's attached to your owner's manual. It's a simple process. You raise up your hose and there's a hole right in the side of your machine, and this T-handle will slide inside. Clockwise tightens it and counterclockwise loosens it. Now, the machine has all been designed with a fail-safe in it, so if you tighten down the torque too much and you have too much driving power, the drive motor has been designed to turn itself off during that application. Why is that? To prevent the cable from breaking. So we put a fail-safe in there, so too tight of a clutch won't cause cable fatigue and breakage. So if you do experience that your clutch is too tight, go ahead and test it and then back off. The next item is filtration. You're going to raise up your lid, and we have a filter bag here. What you're going to do is take it and slide it out. There's a tab right here that you actually fold over, so as you're pulling the bag out, it doesn't spread dust everywhere. Just like cleaning any filtration system, you'll want to go ahead and use a dust mask. The other thing is, you can fill this bag up about halfway before you'll need to change it. You can have multiple jobs in one bag, or you may use multiple bags per job depending on the application. The next thing is your HEPA filtration. Okay, the only way to clean these is with compressed air from the inside out or contact vacuum from the outside. Never get these wet and don't beat them on a wall. The end cap or glue could break and the end cap could come off, so don't abuse them. Make sure your technicians know not to get them wet.
Well, that about wraps it up. Now remember, you also have other resources available to you, like your owner's manual and our 24/7 tech support line. We sincerely appreciate your business, and we hope to see you at one of our certified air duct training courses. From Rotobrush, I'm Brad Gilley. Thanks for watching.